January 29th, Exodus 33, 34, and 35. And Yah said to Moshe, "Come, go up from here, you and the people whom you have brought out of the land of Mitzrayim, to the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob, saying, to your seed I give it. And I shall send my messenger before you, and I shall drive out the Canaanite, and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite, to a land flowing with milk and honey. For I do not go up in your midst, because you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume you on the way." And when the people heard this evil word, they mourned, and no one put on his ornaments. And Yah said to Moshe, "Say to the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. Should I go up in your midst for one moment? I shall consume you. And now, take off your ornaments, and I shall know what to do to you." So the children of Israel took off their ornaments at Mount Horeb. And Moshe took his tent and pitched it outside the camp, far from the camp, and called it the tent of appointment. And it came to be that everyone who sought Yah went out to the tent of appointment, which was outside the camp. And it came to be, whenever Moshe went out to the tent, that all the people rose, and each man stood at his tent door and watched Moshe until he entered the tent. And it came to be, when Moshe entered the tent, that the column of cloud descended and stood at the door of the tent, and he spoke with Moshe. And all the people saw the column of cloud standing at the tent door, and all the people rose and bowed themselves, each one at the door of his tent. Thus Yah spoke to Moshe face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. And he would return to the camp, but his servant Yehoshua, son of Nun, a young man, did not leave the tent. And Moshe said to Yah, "See, you are saying to me, bring up this people, but you have not made known to me whom you would send with me, though you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my eyes. And now, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, please show me your way, and let me know you, so that I find favor in your eyes, and consider that this nation is your people." And he said, "My presence does go, and I shall give you rest." And he said to him, "If your presence is not going, do not lead us up from here. For how shall it be known that I have found favor in your eyes, I and your people, except you go with us? Then we shall be distinguished, I and your people, from all the people who are on the face of the earth." And Yah said to Moshe, "Even this word you have spoken I shall do, for you have found favor in my eyes, and I know you by name." Then he said, "Please, show me your esteem." And he said, "I shall cause my goodness to pass before you, and I shall proclaim the name of Yah before you. And I shall favor whom I favor, and shall have compassion on him whom I have compassion." But he said, "You are unable to see my face, for no man does see me and live." And Yah said, "See, there is a place with me, and you shall stand on the rock. And it shall be, when my esteem passes by, that I shall put you in the cleft of the rock, and cover you with my hand while I pass by. Then I shall take away my hand, and you shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen." Exodus 34. And Yah said to Moshe, "Cut 2 tablets of stone like the first stones, and I shall write on those tablets the words that were on the first tablets which you broke. And be ready in the morning. Then you shall come up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and present yourself to me there on the top of the mountain. Let no man come up with you, let no man be seen in all the mountain, and let not even the flock or the herd feed in front of that mountain." And he cut 2 tablets of stone, like the first ones. Then Moshe rose early in the morning, and went up Mount Sinai, as Yah had commanded him. And he took 2 tablets of stone in his hand. And Yah came down in the cloud and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name, Yah. And Yah passed before him and proclaimed, Yah, Yah, and El, compassionate, showing favor, patient, and great in loving commitment and truth, watching over loving commitment for thousands, forgiving crookedness and transgression and sin, but by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children, and the children's children, to the third and fourth generation. And Moshe hurried and bowed himself towards the earth, and did obeisance, and said, If now I have found favor in your eyes, O Yah, I pray, let Yah go in our midst, even though we are a stiff-necked people, and forgive our crookedness and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. And he said, See, I am making a covenant. Before all your people, I am going to do wonders such as not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among whom you are shall see the work of Yah, for what I am doing with you is awesome. Guard what I command you today. See, I am driving out from before you the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Guard yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going, lest it be a snare in your midst. But break down their slaughter places, and smash their pillars, and cut down their asherim. For you do not bow yourselves to another mighty one, for Yah, whose name is jealous, is a jealous El. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they whore after their mighty ones, and slaughter to their mighty ones. And one of them invites you, and you eat of his slaughterings. And you take daughters of his daughters for your sons, and his daughters whore after their mighty ones, and make your sons whore after their mighty ones. Do not make a molded mighty one for yourselves. Guard the festival of Matzot. For 7 days you eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you, in the appointed time of the new moon of Abib, because in the new moon of Abib you came out of Mitzrayim. Everyone opening the womb is mine, and every male firstborn among your livestock, whether bull or sheep. But the firstborn of a donkey you ransom with a lamb. If you do not ransom, then you shall break his neck. Every firstborn of your sons you shall ransom, and they shall not appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you work, but on the 7th day you rest. In plowing time and in harvest you rest. And perform the festival of Shavuot to yourself, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times in the year all your men are to appear before the Master Yah, the Elohim of Israel. For I dispossess nations before you, and shall enlarge your borders, and let no one covet your land when you go up to appear before Yah your Elohim 3 times in the year. Do not slay the blood of my slaughtering with leaven, and do not let the slaughtering of the festival of Pesach remain until morning. Bring in the first fruits of your land in the house of Israel. And bring in the first fruits of your land to the house of Yah, your Elohim. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. And Yah said to Moshe, Write these words, for according to the mouth of these words I have made a covenant with you and with Israel. And he was there with Yah 40 days and 40 nights. He did not eat bread, and he did not drink water. And he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 words. And it came to be, when Moshe came down from Mount Sinai, while the 2 tablets of the witness were in Moshe's hand, when he came down from the mountain, that Moshe did not know that the skin of his face shone, since he had spoken with him. And Aharon and all the children of Israel looked at Moshe and saw the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. But Moshe called out to them, and Aharon and all the rulers of the congregation returned to him, and Moshe spoke to them. And afterward all the children of Israel came near, and he commanded them all that Yah had spoken with him on Mount Sinai. And when Moshe ended speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But whenever Moshe went in before Yah to speak with him, he would remove the veil until he came out. And when he came out, he spoke to the children of Israel what he had been commanded. And the children of Israel would see the face of Moshe, that the skin of Moshe's face shone. And Moshe would put the veil on his face again until he went in to speak with him. Exodus 35. And Moshe assembled all the congregation of the children of Israel, and said to them, These are the words which Yah has commanded you to do. Work is done for 6 days, but on the 7th day it shall be set apart to you, a Sabbath of rest to Yah. Anyone doing work on it is put to death. Do not kindle a fire in any of your dwellings on the Sabbath day. And Moshe spoke to all the children, all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, This is the word which Yah commanded, saying, Take from among you a contribution to Yah. Everyone whose heart so moves him, let him bring it as a contribution to Yah. Gold and silver and bronze, and blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine linen and goat's hair, and ram's skin dyed red, and fine leather, and acacia wood, and oil for the light, and spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, and shoham stones, and stones to be set in the shoulder garment, and in the breastplate. And let all the wise-hearted among you come, and make all that Yah has commanded. The dwelling place, its tent and its covering, its hooks and its boards, its bars, its columns, and its sockets, the ark and its poles, the lid of atonement, and the veil of the covering, and the table and its poles and all its utensils, and the showbread, and the lampstand for the light, and its utensils, and its lamps, and the oil for the light, and the incense slaughter place, and its poles, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the covering for the door at the entrance of the dwelling place, and the slaughter place of ascending offering, with its bronze grating, its poles, and all its utensils, and the basin and its stand, and the screens of the courtyard, its columns and their sockets, and the covering for the gate of the courtyard, the pegs of the dwelling place, and the pegs of the courtyard, and their cords, the woven garments to do service in the set-apart place, the set-apart garments for Aharon, the priest, and the garments of his sons to serve as priests. And all the congregation of the children of Israel withdrew from the presence of Moshe. And everyone whose heart lifted him up, and everyone whose spirit moved, he came, and they brought the contribution to Yah for the work of the tent of appointment, and for all its service, and for the set-apart garments. And they came, both men and women, all whose hearts moved them, and brought earrings, and nose rings, and rings, and necklaces, all golden goods, even everyone who made a wave offering of gold to Yah. And every man with whom was found blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram's skin dyed red, and fine leather brought them. Everyone who would make a contribution to Yah of silver or bronze brought it, and everyone with whom was found acacia wood for any work of the service brought it. And all the wise-hearted women spun yarn with their hands, and brought what they had spun, the blue and the purple and the scarlet material, and the fine linen. And all the women whose hearts lifted them up in wisdom spun the goat's hair. And the rulers brought shoham stones, and the stones to be set in the shoulder garment and in the breastplate, and the spices and the oil for the light, and the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. And the children of Israel brought a voluntary offering to Yah, all the men and women whose hearts moved them to bring all kinds of work, which Yah, by the hand of Moshe, had commanded to be done. And Moshe said to the children of Israel, See, Yah has called by name Betzalel, son of son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah, and he has filled him with the spirit of Elohim, in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all work, to make designs, to work in gold and silver, and in bronze, and in cutting stones for setting, and in carving wood, and to work in all workmanship of design. And he has put in his heart the ability to teach in him, and Oholeb, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. He has filled him with skill to do all work of the engraver, and the designer, and the embroiderer, in blue and in purple, in scarlet material, and in fine linen, and a weaver, doing any work, and makers of designs.